Hey YouTube. Hey, how's it going? It's like 12:43 in the afternoon on Monday the 13th? Monday the 13th of July. And you can see that I'm good, I'm feeling pretty good and pretty positive. My mind likes to create stories and think about the future, and now that I'm in a line with what is right for me, it means that the more I kind of dream of those things, the quicker I'll come into line with them. So things are good. First of all, the first news is I've got some work. So that's like fantastic news. And it's work that promises to be relatively stable as anything can be, but it's regular work that'll be monthly amount. Now, it's not big bucks, Mr. Rich Man stuff, but if you're going to live a cheap life of a hobo, it's definitely enough in order to maintain a certain level of existence in terms of like gasoline and water and dog food. And so that's I'm super grateful for that. It's so comforting to have that. My man, Nico Contardi in Los Angeles, he does luxury travel, and I've written for him for maybe about 3 years, and he's like, he's a good guy. He works in the super luxury market, so it's like private jets, super yachts, that kind of thing. But he's always kept me on as his writer because he had faith in me. And there's a time when I really fell from life and I was out there in the wilderness. He is someone who actually kept me alive. Like, if it wasn't for him, there's a strong chance that I wouldn't be sat here now. I've told him this too, and it really touched his heart. But yeah, big love to Nico. And if you're in LA and you need anything, Nico's your man, dude. Trust me. So anyway, that's enough of the unpaid advertisement. Well, I suppose it is paid. He gives me work, and so it's cool. But yeah, can you imagine that relief? I mean, there's still and then there's other news as well. So that's like, so I can see the way forward. Do the work, make the money, buy the car, got a bit of security, get on your way. There's a bit of another update as well, like, felt very synchronistic, like, over the weekend as I went out. Like, there's magic goes on here in the streets of LRO, and whenever you're outside you accidentally bump into the right people at the right time. It's like an amazing place that's really special for that reason. And so yesterday afternoon we went out at some time, me and Bobby, just to go out, and I bumped into Shireen. Shireen, really nice girl. She's from England. She's from like near Manchester, near me. A sailor. Well, a cook on the yachts, but essentially a lady who lives at sea, and so a bit of a nomad. And she's been through my story. She's been through the story of really sinking low, like the way that I have. And so it was really nice. She bought me a milkshake, and we sat outside the ice cream parlour, and I had a chocolate milkshake, which was super nice for her. Very grateful for that too. It was really sweet. We must have sat for about an hour, and she's very much into emotional intelligence, and so we had a very inspirational conversation, because in a way we're very different, the way that we're stacked up. And so I think it can only ever add perspective to your opinion to see somebody else's way. And so it was really nice, and we really connected, and that felt like when you're moving forward in your new life, then the right people come to you. Now, I'm not suggesting that I'm going to marry Shireen, because I can't allow myself to get run away with myself. But I did feel attracted to her, but maybe that's just me being the fucking slut that I am. Like, I did feel attracted to her, and she knows another lady that I know as well. So I'm getting some nice girls together, which is super cool. But I've got to maintain that we're friends, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm going to go live in the wild, so I'm not like having a girlfriend or anything. I'm going to stick with me, and it's all going to be about me, and I'm going to focus on me for once. The last thing I need is the need to focus on someone else. But maybe it doesn't have to be like that. The more individual I stand, the more individual I will attract. The person that I attract will also stand in that level of individuality, and so it won't be so codependent, perhaps like relationships could have been in the past. But anyway, I'm not interested in love, and I am interested in sex, but I'm not interested in love. I'm not interested in harbouring that at the moment. It's all about getting my life together and returning to like a base level for me. I mean, it's going to take a lot of my strength to really, create a good life for myself as I go out and live in a car on the road here in Mallorca. So I don't need any distractions. I think that in the past I've only too happy to take distractions. Like, throw myself into this love affair to not have to deal with the problem that is Dani dealing with Dani, you know. And so I'm not going to make that mistake again. I'm really going to focus on myself now and really create a sense of stability. I think it's going to be the making of me, guys. I think it's absolutely going to be the making of me, and so keep watching this space. Last night as I was walking out, bumped into one of my good old lady friends, Maria, and we had a really nice chat. Maria loves to talk and I love to talk, and so we had a good old chat in the street. And she says, you know, if she's not like a rich lady, she gets a pension, but she said, if I ever need food, there's always food. And I thought, yeah, actually there is always a hot meal for me here in LRO. Like, there is innumerous people who would happily feed me. Okay, perhaps the idea of money and things like that, or like a home, like they can't really provide it, but there's certainly, here in the culture in Spain, there's certainly people who will provide food, and especially old ladies, you know, like they're very happy to provide food. So that is nice to know as well, that as I go on my travels, I can always come back around to LRO and get a hot meal, you know, off a real home cooked meal, off a nice old lady. Now, doesn't that sound awesome? So yeah, so that's cool. Now, there's also more news as well, because ultimately, like, the whole thing that there is at the moment is that, yes, I'm a road warrior, but I've got no car, so where's the car going to come from, we all say. Well, it's good that the work's come in, because that's going to provide a certain level of, yes, stability for life, but maybe if I really focus, I can actually pull in enough money to actually fucking buy a car, and then not have this codependence of needing someone else to do it for me. Would I love someone else to do it for me? Absolutely. Yeah, it seems like it would be nice if, like, I didn't have to dig myself out of this hole that I've put myself in. Or, I mean, I have to anyway, but at least if there was a bit of a helping hand, I could just step forward, like, oh, that would be great. But like, whatever. If you want to contribute towards the car fund, just type C in the chat, because that's the best way you can contribute to the car fund, because the more I spread my channel, the more I'm going to get the car fund. Now, something else that I've realised is something that you need to know about Mallorca and the culture of rental cars here, is that although it's a small island, there are a lot of rental cars here in Mallorca, because in July, August, September, before the pandemic, millions of people will come for their summer holidays here, and so all the car companies will make big money over that period of people who hire like Fiat 500s and go and tour the island, kind of thing. Well, because we've got no tourists here because of what's happened, and because there's no, you know, realistically no future for that anyway, there's a lot of cars which are just sitting around not moving. So my friend tells me that actually there's some fucking bargains to be had there on relatively new cars, that they're just sitting there and they're looking to sell them off cheap. Part of me wants to put two and two together and wonder if I can go to these guys and say, hey, if you donate me, if you lend me a car, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make 300 videos of the island. I will name drop your car rental company in all of my things. And so, you know, so I can obviously present it as a marketing standpoint. Depends who the person is in front of me. If I've got someone who's got the vision of, oh, like, this is a pretty good opportunity to get whatever cars on like 300 videos on YouTube related to the island, they might see the scope for that in the future, and it might be worth a punt in terms of just giving me a car to use for the sake of it. It's going to take a certain amount of creativity in the person that I'm speaking to, because at the end of the day they might just want to grab money. If it is a money grab, then maybe there are options there anyway. And there are other car options, because as I was walking with Paula, my friend, last night, like late on, it turns out that she's been shopping for a van recently, and she didn't even know why she was doing it, because she's already got a car, she doesn't need it, but she felt herself drawn to shopping for vans. Anyway, after I told her my story about how Dani and Bobi are set free, she realises that the reason why she's been looking for a van is for me, which is quite cute. So we had a walk around last night, as you know, in the evening with the dogs. She's got 2 dogs, I have Bobi, so all of us had a big walk around the village. It was quite cute, and we walked past a car that was for sale. She's been seeing it, it's been for sale for a while. It's not going anywhere. They want €2,000 for it. She reckons you might be able to pick it up for like €1,200. Hey, if I can play the poor boy and the boy who needs to exit this self-made prison and get back to my homeland because I'm broke, which is the truth. Maybe depends on the person again in front of me, but maybe they might see the charity in it and be able to sell it me really cheap. Maybe I could pick it up for something like €880 or something, and that's like not an impossible amount of money to get together in a quick period of time, so that's good. There's also like another truck that I've seen around that I like, which I'm literally just going to approach the owner and say, hey, do you want to sell that car? The difficulty is I'm going to say, hey, do you want to sell that car? But this is not really an opportunity for you to make money. If actually this is an opportunity for you to lose money, and who the fuck wants to take that what human being wants to accept that in a world that's capitalist run? Shit, dude, it's going to take some creative character to say, yeah, I'll sell you this truck for €2,000, even though I could probably sell it for £6,000. Am I just dreaming? Either way, you can see that there are options presenting themselves, and things are developing. And so the most important thing at the moment is that I buckle down and do some work. Now, I've had the morning to slowly get going like I do, but I'm ready to go. And I sat at the computer now and I'm not ready to go. Like, there's a couple of guys that perhaps I need to interview to talk about the villas and what's going on there. I can interview them, that's super cool. He maybe wants to make a vlog out of it. I can put something together here, but it's not right now. There is no work for me to do right now. And so I just carry on dreaming of cars, I suppose. Maybe I should take a walk out, like anything can happen, right? If I go outside of the house, then maybe something magical will happen. So that's good. Also got another story as well, which is quite cute. On Saturday,